And so guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chema of Chema Stitches. It's so nice to have all of you right back. If you are a new subscriber, I want to say thank you so much for joining this family. This channel is going to help you boost your tailoring skills. It's a guarantee so long as you practice what you learn here. All right. And for the old subscribers, thank you so much. You guys, you're my rock. You're one of the reasons why I do this. So thank you so much for sticking with me all this while. So today, to get into this sewing process, to save time, the drafting part of this tutorial, I'm going to be leaving the link in the description box. So you're going to go ahead and click on that link and check the drafting of this trouser pattern. All right. So that's the good thing about drafting patterns for your dresses. You can always reuse your pattern anytime you want. Okay, you can change the pattern, especially if it's a trouser pattern. You can change it, alter it, whatever you want. So for this, we're going to be making just a free trouser. Okay, you would call it a palazzo trouser, but it's not going to be very full. It's just going to be free. All right, basically free. All right, and what I've done is place my pattern on the fabric, and I've added the sewing allowance. And as you can see, the sewing allowance I've added on all sides has to be equal. To take your measurements, your tape rule is important when you're transferring pattern to fabric. This is the trouser part of it. So we're going to be drafting the upper bodies right now, and the upper bodies will be drafted on camera right now, and that one is not going to be on pattern paper. We're going to be drafting it directly on the fabric. All right, so I'm going to get into that right now, but first I'm going to cut out this pattern. And if you can see, if you watch the video on how we drafted this, which I'm going to be leaving the link in the description box, you're going to see how we drafted even the pocket. So I'm going to be cutting out the pocket as well, so that we can get straight into the sewing proper. And the beginning part of the edge, the hem of this trouser, we're going to be using hemming gum to hold it together. So we're not going to be hemming it with sewing. We're not going to be sewing the hem. We're going to be using a hemming gum to iron it and steam it down. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut out this pattern, and then we will get into this. Also note that this pattern, because the band of the pattern has been cut out, I am going to be replacing the band. But on replacing the band, I am going to be using 1.5 inch. Although the band we cut out from this was 1 inch, but I'm going to be using 1.5 inch, so it will have a high waist effect. All right, so because that's what the person who owns this wants. All right, so let's get into cutting this particular pattern. So this shirt part is going to be like, it will have a kimono effect, and it will be very free. All right, and it will also have opening on the sides. And so to consider all of that, considering all of this effect is going to be having, and the full length is good, and also the full length is going to be 39 inches, because like I said, I want it to be really long. Okay, it's going to be a very long shirt. Okay, so I'm going to make using 40 inches, so that we'll have 1 inch for the hemming of the down part of the dress. So I'm going to mark out the 40 inches. It's going to have a kimono effect, and the sleeve is going to be inbuilt. Okay, so, and the body of this dress, we would like to be working with, say, 12.5 or 13 inches. Let's use 13 inches because of the side that is going to be open. Okay, so we can properly hem it. So 13 inches will be the body of this. I'm going to be using 13 inches. Like I said, it's going to be very free. Okay, very free and flowy. Okay, so the neckline we're going to be using 3 inches as a neckline. This part we're drafting is the back piece. We're going to be using the back piece to draft the front piece. So I'm going to be taking out 1 inch or half an inch for the neckline for the back. I'm going to use the full length here to include both the sleeve and everything. All right, and so from the sleeve, let's come down by, say, 1 inch. From here, we're going to use this 1 inch as our shoulder slanting. So first take out the shoulder measurement. The shoulder measurement is 7.5. Come down by 1 inch, and so extend this 1 inch all the way to this side. Or you can also come down, make it 1.5 inch when you get here. That is also a choice. And then I will extend this 1 inch to the neckline. And then for the sleeve, I want the sleeve to also be free, because this dress is going to be super free. So I can come down to say 10 inches or 10.5 inches or even 11 inches. That is also a choice. And then from here, I'm going to measure the 13 inches I was going to use here. I'm going to come in a bit by say 13.5 inches. Now this measurement I'm using now, it just depends on what effect you want, how flowy you don't mind yours to be. Okay, so you can make it as long as you want or as flowy as you want. Also the sleeve, you can extend the sleeve. So I can add up to 2 inches to it to give me the length of the sleeve I want, or I can make it 3 inches, however you want. So this is just part of the so whatever you want, just include it in this. All right, so like this, now I have my full pattern. Okay, so I can cut out this and then use this to cut out the back piece. Okay, so let me pin this first because it's silk fabric we are working with. It is important to pin it because it's very slippery. So I have used this pattern to cut out the other piece. So now we're going to be using this one now as the back piece because I cut it exactly the same thing. All right, so let's alter the front piece now. Now this front piece, we are going to be using bridal satin. Like I said, it's going to be having a kimono effect. The shirt is going to be having a kimono effect. So I'm going to be using this bridal satin to extend the front and to as a bias in front of it. All right, and so to do that, from the neckline here, I'm going to come down to all the way to say 9 inches. Okay, and because we don't want this to have any poofy effect, it's just I want it to be straight, so I'm going to be marking it out straight. So from the neckline, I just came down by 9 inches. And because, like I said, I don't want this to have any curvy effect. So I'm just going to try and eliminate this pointiness so that and try to make it look like it is a straight line. Okay. So at the end of the day, what I have here is I have come down up to 22 inches because I'm trying to eliminate this effect here. Okay. So it won't even show that this place is pointy. I want to eliminate it completely. I'm going to use this to cut out the bias. When I'm cutting out the bias, I'm going to cut a straight line. The strap we are going to be adding to this, we are going to be adding it starting from the back neckline. Okay, so what I'm going to go ahead and do now is open up this pattern. Okay, look at what we have here. This is just straight. Okay, so I'm going to be joining the shoulders. Okay, I'm going to join both shoulders and then I will take the measurement round before I can use it to cut out. I will know the length of the strap I'm going to cut out for it. Okay, which means to get the length of the strap I need, I'm going to measure the back piece. Okay, since what we use is 6 inches, so we have 3 inches here, 3 inches, and I'll measure whatever is left here all the way and multiply it into 2. So I have 40 here, which is I need a strap as long as 80 inches. So I'm going to cut out the strap as long as 80 inches. So let's go ahead and join the shoulder lines. Okay, so this is the strap I'm going to be using. I'm going to join it here. I'm going to join it because we are going to have to extend it since we need up to 80 inches long, and what I have here is about 60 inches. Okay, so I'm going to join this place and I'll start joining it from the back exactly where I have sewn it together. So I want to show us the down part. I have gone ahead to use hemming gum. This is our hemming gum. All right, to iron the down part. Look at how neat it looks. There is no seam line because I didn't sew on it. If you steam the hemming gum on it properly, you do not need to sew on it again. I've done this for both the front and the back pieces, as you can see, to give it neat finishing. All right, and then next I also went ahead to cut out the pockets. This is the pockets. There are 2 pieces for each. So one is going to be the pocket bag and one is going to be the pocket cover. This other one that is going to be the pocket bag, I am going to be taking as the part where you can pass the hand through. Not like you cannot attach it like this, of course you can, but I like to have this kind of effect on it when I make it. Okay, so if you are going to be sewing with a sewing allowance of say 1 inch, and you want it to start exactly at that 1 inch where your sewing allowance is, you can just go ahead and cut it from there. But if you want to move it away so that it will be obvious that there's a pocket on the dress, you can move it away from your 1 inch to show the difference between where the pocket stops and where your dress starts. Okay, where your seam line starts. Okay, so for that I've already moved it away. I've marked out 2.5 inches away, and I just went ahead. You can come down by 7 inches or more depending on how wide your hand is, so that your hand can move in freely. Okay, 7 inches or 6.5 is very okay. And I just went ahead and curved it in. So I'm going to be cutting out this part. I'm cutting half an inch away from my marking, so that by the time I join it I can still take out the half an inch. Okay, so I've taken out about 2 inches instead of the 2.5 inches I marked out. So I'm going to open the pocket bag now and place it on the front piece. So right side facing right side, you're going to place it on the body like so. If you cut it on the body, if you use the measurement of the trouser to cut out your pocket, it's going to lay down perfectly like so. I'm going to go ahead and sew on it with half of an inch, and I'll do the same thing on this other one. All right, and then I will also join the crotch. I'm going to join the crotch with 0.75 inches. That is the quantity of allowance I added when I was transferring the pattern to fabric. So I'm going to take out 0.75 inch here, and I'll take out the same 0.75 inch from the back as well and join the back crotch. Okay, so I have gone ahead to sew the pocket. I've gone ahead to sew the pocket, and this is it. So what I'm going to do now is trim out the excess. Then I am going to make cuts around the curved area very close to the seam line, and then I'm going to go ahead and open it up, and I will top stitch on the pocket bag. I'm going to top stitch very close to the seam line on the pocket bag like I have done here. So you can see here is the top stitching very close, and then I'm going to be taking the other part of the pocket. I'm going to place it on it, and I'm going to go ahead and sew all the way and sew. All right, okay guys, so I have gone ahead to attach the pockets completely. I've joined the side, look at it, and I iron this down using hemming gum. Okay, you can use a hemming gun to keep it laying flat like this. Look at how clean and smooth this place is looking, lying so clean. And then I iron the crotch area as well. So now it's time to attach the band. So I already cut out the band. You cut out the waistline you want. You can make your band as wide as you want. I have almost 3 inches here. So when I sew it with half of an inch, we're going to be having a band as long, as wide as 2.5 inches. And this is going to also help to grip your waist, because the bigger the band, the more it grips your waist. So it gives you that tiny waist effect. Okay, that's one of the things that you can achieve if you use a wide band for your trouser. Okay, and so I just cut a straight line. So I can choose to sew it like this, the right side fitting the right side. Just go ahead and sew it with half of an inch, turn it the other way and top stitch it. Or I can just fold it like this together and just sew a straight line in one go. Okay, either way, you can, anyhow you do it, it's going to come out nice. At the end of the day, just make sure you do your overlocking stitch, okay, to overlock all these places so that the inside of the dress will look as clean as the outside. And I'll also join the band for the back piece before we can attach the zipper. Always have a matching zipper as well when you are sewing your trousers. Your matching zipper, your matching thread, very important. Okay, so this is another way you can also join your band. As you can see, I've sewn it once here. I've sewn it once like so. So what I'm going to do now is, from here I'm going to turn this place like this and try to join them. Try to join it like so. So I'm going to be pushing the body of the trouser inside the band. Now this method works when your band is quite wide like this one. because if the band is not wide enough, you will not be able to push in the main fabric into the main trouser into the band. So I'm just going to go ahead and top stitch it exactly where I sewed the first line. And you have to be careful to push it in and not to make any part fold in, okay? Now all I have to do is pull out the trouser from the band. And there you have it. This is it. The band is neatly attached. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to iron this, iron it neatly, and you can also, after ironing, you will not top stitch it very close to the joining. That way it makes it even firmer and it is neater, gives it a different kind of look too. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, so I've ironed it and I went ahead to top stitch it. As you can see, I top stitched the band after joining it and it came out nice. So now it's time to join the front and the back pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and sew the crotch area, and then for the zip, I'm going to put in the zip on the right side of the trouser. So the zip is going to go all the way close to the hip. So you have to make sure that your zip gets to the hip area so that it will be easy to wear it, especially if it's a fitted trouser. Although this one is going to have some freedom, that's going to be a bit free, but I will still make the zipper get to the hip, okay? So, but if it's a trouser that's going to be very fitted and you're adding a zip on the side, make sure that the zipper gets to the hip area so that you can comfortably wear it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and measure out to somewhere here. I'm going to get to here and I'm going to mark it, and that's where the zip is going to stop. So from here I am going to go ahead and sew with half of an inch or 1 inch. I'm going to start off with 1 inch and then I'm going to slant it towards half of an inch all the way, because we want the trouser to be free, to be palazzo. And then I'm going to sew this one from the top all the way 1 inch and then till towards the half of an inch and sew to the end. And then I'm going to attach the zipper. So now I'm going to go ahead and iron this, and you also don't forget to give it interlocking so that it will come out looking very clean on the inside as well. Look at how beautiful the waistline looks. This is a neat work. Okay, so this is the trouser. We've done most of the work. It's just to overlock it and iron it, and this trouser is looking so perfect. Okay, nice. So now let's complete the top part of this two piece. So here we slanted it down all the way to here. Okay, so what I want to do now is from the middle, from this side, I am going to measure 2 inches from down here. Now I am going to take these 2 inches up to here. Now the point of this is I'm going to connect the 2 inches. I'm going to connect it to the end, and then I'm going to roll these 2 inches, maintaining a straight line. I'm supposed to connect these 2 inches to the top. Okay, now because I've cut out part of this place here will not be 2 inches, so I'm just going to trust on this measurement and follow it with my straight ruler and connect it to the neckline. Okay, connect this all the way straight to the neckline. Now what I'm doing here is this part I'm going to cut it off, so I'm just going to join the two front pieces together like so. So make sure to join it and make sure it's equal. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is cut out this place completely. And then from here you are going to measure down for the depth, or you want the opening of the front neckline, how deep you want it to be. So from your shoulder to your bust line you can measure it and be sure. Okay, so I'm going to be marking here, say 8 inches. I want it to stop at 8 inches. When we join this, we're going to remember that it is from here to 8 inches that it stopped. All right, 8 inches. So for me to attach this now, let me set this one aside. For me to attach this doll face, I'm going to match the doll face and make it equal. You match the center of the back piece. Okay, from the center of the back piece you are going to measure what you have. So what I have here is about from here to the 8 inches I have 11.5 inches. So I'm going to measure from here to here. I'm going to be measuring 11.5 inches. I'm going to go ahead and mark here. This is my 11.5 inches. Now from here as well, from this place, this is where I marked. Let me transfer the marking up here. Okay, this is where we marked that the neckline is going to, the opening of neckline is going to stop. So from here we are going to be joining this place. So, and I want this dress to also have a slit in front. Okay, so from here I'm going to measure from this place. So I don't mind this stopping at say 18. If you stop at 18 it's okay. So I can mark 18 inches. This is where I want this to stop. So what I'm going to do now is mark the 18 inches from here, measure 18 inches. So at this point I'm going to find the center of this place and center of this. So from here I am going to go ahead and just sew from here to here, straight line. So I've sewn it, so I'm taking out the pin. What I'm going to do now is open this like so. I'm going to fold in here like this. Join this up to this place, and open here like this. So now we have the center part, and I'm going to fold this place like this. Okay, look at what we have here. So I'm going to go ahead and take this to my ironing table, and I'm going to iron it. You have an opening here. This is where the neckline is going to pass, and this is the slit. Okay, now you can test this opening to be sure that this opening is enough. Since this dress does not have any zip, you have to be sure that this thing can actually pass your head. Okay, if not, you can move it down a little bit. Okay, just know that the more opening you give it, that's the more it's going to plunge towards the cleavage area. Okay, I'm going to open it up again, and I'm going to lose it a little bit more. So I'm going to come down by 2 more inches. Okay, I'm going to come down by 2 more inches. So I'm going to loosen it to here. So I'm going to leave only this place. So what I have at the opening now is no longer 8 inches. It's no longer 11.5 inches here. What I have now is about 13.5 inches. Okay, so we'll note that for when we want to attach it to the main bodies. So I am going to go ahead now and iron it. Okay, so I have ironed it, and this is it. So This is the slit, the opening in the front, and this is it. This is the sewn part, and here. So what I'm going to do now is bring this one to find the middle of the back piece. Be sure you are working with the center, because this measure we took measurement, so we don't go and make mistake. Okay, so and the ironing has given me an arc here. It has helped to tell you exactly where the back neckline is supposed to be. Okay, so exactly on that joining, I am going to come here and join these two places together. I've matched the neckline from the middle of the neckline. I have joined it to the middle of the band we are going to be using for it. Okay, so what I'm going to go ahead now, I sew. I'm going to sew from here to here, sew all the way to the end. Sew each side, sew one side first to the end like so, and then I'm going to come and sew the other side. Now this is the wrong part, the rough part of it. I have attached it. Look at this, and this fabric frays a lot, so I'm going to have to overlock it when I'm done. Okay, look at this. So I've attached attached it, and this is it, and this is the right side. Look at the right side, looking so nice. So I'm going to iron this down. So after overlocking it, you can choose to top stitch it, to place it down like this and top stitch it exactly on the main fabric, very close to the seam line, to keep it looking even cleaner. I like to do that on my dress, so if you like, you will also practice that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do now is bring this part down and join the sides. Join the sides, and this dress is almost ready. So what I'm going to do now is hem the sleeve with half of an inch, folded twice. Okay, I'm going to hem the sleeve on both sides, and then I'm going to go ahead and join the sides. Alright, so here I have gone ahead to have joined the sides, as you can see, and hemmed the sleeve. Okay, join the sides. So now we're going to be cutting out the excess of this part. Okay, and so at the center of the back, the dress has an opening at the center of the back. Okay, and I'm going to be using an overlocking stitch for the hem, and for that opening we are going to create. Okay, so this opening should stop around your waist area. So I'm going to measure, say, from here to 20, from here to 20 or 21. Okay, from here I am going to fold it together, the back. You find the middle. So I'm going to be opening here. When you are doing the overlocking will just follow the line you have cut in the center, like so. So we stop here. So when you overlock it, it's going to just come this way. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and overlock this stitch and then put it on the mannequin, and we'll see. And so guys, if at this point you have not subscribed to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe. And if this video has been of any help to you, please do well to like and share this video so that this community can grow. Thank you guys for staying to the end of the tutorial, and here is my beautiful model rocking the two-piece. I hope you like it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you in my next tutorial. Bye bye.